it's me, and today I'm here with my favorite books of 2019. I made a top 10 because that's just what I do always. I'm gonna talk to you about my top 10 favorite books that I read in 2019. Not all, they don't have to be 2019 releases. I think only one of these is. No, two. I'm so sorry. Two of these are 2019 releases, the other ones are more backlist. But yeah, I'll be counting down from like my 10 favorite book to like my favorite book of the year. So if you want to know my number one, it's at the end of the video. Yeah, my next video is going to be my least favorite books of 2019, so if you want to know about those, check out, stay around, you know. And yeah, I don't really know how to do an introduction to these videos. Let's just get started because this intro is just too long for what it needs to be. So yeah, my number 10, I have The Little Prince by Antoine de Saint-Exupéry. I totally butchered that. I'm so sorry, but I've been terrible at French ever since I started learning it. Thought this was a cute little book, but also some deep message in, and I think it is a book everybody like should read, because also it's not too difficult to read. Because like I said, it's short and it has a lot of illustrations in it, and it's made for children. So like it's understandable, but I also really resonate like the deeper meanings behind this book. And yeah, on number 9 I have Dear Martin by Nick Stone, which I was actually surprised by because my last book of 2018 was The Odd One Out. I don't know that's actually what it's called, but Nick Stone's second book, and I didn't really like that, so I still wanted to like check out Dear Martin because it deals with important topics and I've heard great things about it, but I was a little bit iffy about it because I didn't like her second novel. But this one was so good. I feel like it deals with more like serious issues very well, like racism, police brutality, and other things along those lines, but it does it in a very comprehensible way. It gives a lot of statistics and facts, and I liked how it gave more of a nuanced view about all of this. And number 8 is An Apple of Days by Ransom, which was also a surprise, which I don't know why because I loved the original trilogy, but you know, to have randomly have, you just decided to put on a new trilogy and nobody was talking about it really. Like, people were talking about it coming out, but when it came out nobody really read it. So I was like, I don't really know how to feel about it, and I read it and I loved it. This was so good. I think it's my favorite in the series. I'm not sure. I'm rereading the original trilogy at the moment to, you know, make sure if it is my favorite because it's been a while since the original trilogy. But this one was so good. It takes the peculiars to America, and the American world of peculiarities is so different than England, and I just feel like the direction we're taking in this new trilogy is so fun, and it makes sense also why they're continuing on. It's not just like, oh, okay, we do more in this world. And on number 7 we have The Miseducation of Cameron Post by Emily M. Danforth. This is a book I've been wanting to read for a while, and I finally got to in 2019, and it didn't disappoint. I still need to watch the movie though. Oh my god, I just realized that. I haven't watched the movie and I wanted to straight after reading the book. So, on the bucket list for 2020, watch The Miseducation of Cameron Post because I'm really excited to actually see it. I think this book just raised a lot of interesting discussions. It's just great, impactful, but also lighthearted in a way. Like, it's just mostly fun. Like, there are times where it gets more difficult because it does deal with homophobia, sadly enough, but just most of the time it's pretty lighthearted and fun, you know. And moving on to number 6, which is Nevernight by Jay Kristoff. This book is again one I've been wanting to read for a while, but didn't get around to until this year. Also, I immediately bought the sequel because I was like, oh my god, I need to continue, but I still haven't read it yet. So that's the kind of person I am. But this book, again, was a bit of a surprise to me because, like, going into it, I expected to absolutely love it because everybody absolutely loves it and reads it or hates it. I was like, I'm gonna love this because it sounds right up my alley. But the first, like, quarter or so was so difficult to get through. Like, because Nevernight is told like a very unique writing style, it needs getting used to. And also, a lot is being dumped on you in that first bit, and but at the same time, not a lot is happening, but there's just like a lot of world building, and there's like 2 timelines going on, and it was just so much to wrap your head around, and it took me about like a quarter to do that. I don't know how other people. And this around the time like we actually started the set in school, that's when I really got into it, and then I just couldn't put it down. I was so engrossed in it, and I love it so much. We're starting with my top 5, and I started off with The Darkest Star by Jennifer Armentrout, which again is a surprise because The Darkest Star is the first book in a spin-off trilogy to the Lux series. And the Lux series is a very popular series on BookTube, and everybody and their mother has read it and talked about it and loved it. And I'm kind of like mixed on that series. Like, some books I really liked, other books I didn't. So it's kind of a mixed bag. But the love interest in this trilogy was my favorite character from the Lux series. It takes place like 2-3 years after the Lux series. And yeah, so the love interest in the series was my favorite character from the Lux series. I was like, of course I gotta read it. And I ended up loving it so much. Like, it also surprised because no one has talked about this book. Like, I've literally seen no one talk about this book. Like, the people who were raving about the Lux series, none of them talk about this book, or probably even know about this book. But I loved it so much. Oh my god, this was great. Just like pretty action packed and also just very enjoyable and great. And it was predictable for most things, but like I didn't care. Let's move on to the 4th book, which is Michigan versus the Boys by Carrie Allen, which this book was rough. This book is about hazing mainly. I read this on my commute, like from college and back, because I came back home over the weekends, and that made me cry on the train. And you don't want to cry on the train. Like, I had to hold back because otherwise I was sobbing because yeah, I don't know why I requested this book because I'm not really into sports. Anything about sports I don't really like, and I don't think I've ever read a book that's like mainly focused on sports, but this was so good. I really enjoyed learning like the culture and sports because it's a thing. If you like grow up with sports and like doing certain sports, you really engross like this culture of it. And I'm not even talking about like the hazing part of it, but just like your love of sports and what it means to you. I like the discussion around that, and I also really like the discussion around hazing. This also, besides just the very important topics that it deals with, also has one of the best family dynamics I've read in a while, friendships dynamics in a while as well, and also a really great romance. And yeah, in number 4 we have number 3, I'm sorry, I can't count. Number 3 we have The Poet X by Elizabeth Acevedo, which again, important read, highly recommend. It is sold in verse, and yeah. It is a more popular book, so you probably have heard about it, but I really liked it. It deals with a lot of important topics, such as racism, sexism, mostly like body objectification, I don't know if that's a word. It mainly deals with a very strict like parent situation, and the main character trying to break out of that because she has different passions that her parents won't let her pursue. So yeah, it's also very hard hitting and very beautiful. and yeah, important as well. On number 2, we have my first 5-star of the year. Like, this is the first book in 2019 and I bet and gave 5 stars, and it definitely holds up throughout the year. It's The Quiet You Carry by Nikki. Barthelmess. It just is beautiful. It's about found family as well as actual family, well, step family ends up being, and again, it's a great story about abuse. I just feel like it dealt with it respectfully, and also about the like foster care system, which I've read a couple of books about, but I really like the way this dealt with it. Also her trying to move on at this new school and make new friends and stuff. It just, this book is probably the book that made me cry the most that I read this year, because it hit too deep. It was just, oh. Finally, number 1, my favorite book of the year, which was no contest really, but it's Darius the Great Is Not Okay by Adib Khorram, which right after I read this, the sequel got announced and I'm so excited. But okay, but it's just it's sent from the gods. It's mainly about depression and families. It deals with the depression, how the different cultures like deal with it. It's also about him trying to find a place to fit in, because he eventually makes like a friend in one, and he just learns to fit in, and it's so beautiful. It has, again, great family dynamics. It's a tale you'll always find in my list of favorite books, a great family dynamic, because I was sucker for that. Like the discussion around depression. I also really like the friendship that was in this, and yeah, there's a hint of Darius like being gay, which isn't really that much discussed in this book, but in the sequel he has a boyfriend, so I'm so excited. Those were my top 10 favorite books of 2019. Let me know in the comments down below if you read any of them, so and what you thought of them, so we can discuss them, and also what are your favorite books of 2019. And I guess I'll see you guys next time.
Here I am again, the same old situation. Why does the God thing have to be so complicated?